So the money is in Lowry, now we know. That is it from us. The ITV Evening News is next with Mary. But for now, from all of us on the London team, thank you for watching and have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.
No rise in interest rates, but a warning, the worst may not be over. For the first time in almost 2 years, the Bank of England left the base rate unchanged, but the governor says it's too soon to relax.
Our job is to get inflation down. As I see it, we've got a big job to do. We've got quite a long way to go yet. It's encouraging, but I'm afraid we can't be complacent.
Well, the bank's decision rested, we're told, on a knife edge, swung at the 11th hour by the fall in inflation. So with rates sticking at 5.25%, what does it mean for all our finances? Also tonight. Charged with spying for Russia, the British-based Bulgarians accused of plotting to pass information to an enemy.
Our boss, Rupert Murdoch, is transitioning from chair of our parent company, Fox Corporation.
At 92, Rupert Murdoch announces his retirement, but will he still be running the show? From swimming pools to playgrounds, a special report on the council services culled by budget cuts. Plus, batting for Britain, but who triumphed when the Queen faced the First Lady in Paris?
This is the ITV Evening News with Mary Nightingale.
Good evening. There was some rare relief and even respite for borrowers today from the relentless rise in interest rates. In a knife-edge decision, the Bank of England held rates at 5.25% after 14 consecutive increases. But any hopes that this could be the start of a fall were quickly dashed by the bank's governor. Andrew Bailey said despite the spiralling inflation rate dropping slightly last month, there is no room for complacency. And it seems borrowing costs are likely to stay high for the foreseeable future. Here's our economics editor Joel Hills on what this means for the economy and for all of us. There's plenty more still to come on the ITV Evening News, including the King minding his French.
Mesdames les sénatrices et messieurs les sénateurs.
An historic address to the French Parliament as the Queen sparred with the First Lady. Also ahead, how England's Lionesses have scored in their battle over bonuses. And at 7 o'clock, why local authorities are weighing up tough spending decisions with potentially devastating effects.
It sounds deep, but it's like life-changing because for me this is like my family and I come here for my well-being, for socials, and yeah, it was just really sad.
Well, we've learned that councils have sold billions of pounds worth of assets, and we will have a special report straight after the break, so do join me then. And again, welcome back. The King was given a standing ovation by French MPs today as he became the first British monarch to address the French Senate. In his speech, delivered in both French and English, the King highlighted the challenge of climate change and he spoke of the close ties between France and Britain. And that entente cordiale was put to the test as Queen Camilla and the French First Lady took part in a game of table tennis. Here's our royal editor Chris Shipp on that Paris match and the royal tour. You are watching the ITV Evening News. It is a little bit before 7 o'clock now, and here's what's still ahead before Emmerdale. Released at last, the prisoner who served 17 years in jail for trying to steal a coat and a phone. He tells us what freedom feels like. Also tonight, the Strictly star Amy Dowden gives an emotional update on her cancer journey. She says shaving her head was the hardest step so far. Later on the programme, the lucky escape for school children aboard this bus. Witnesses say it was a miracle. No one was seriously hurt.
The roof of the bus has come clean off, sitting somewhat like a Tupperware lid on the road just behind here.
A bumpy ride around Balmoral. So what was the King's advice to these mountain bikers he's spotted during his walk?
And we started the day with a burst of early morning sunshine until the rain started again. Is there an end in sight, or is there more to come? Find out later in the programme.
Well, that's all coming later, but first, a special report on how the budget crisis, which forced Birmingham City Council into bankruptcy, is threatening local authorities right across England. Rising social care costs, funding cuts and spiralling inflation are forcing many council leaders to make some very tough decisions. One think tank, the IPPR, told us today £15 billion worth of assets have been sold off in the past decade. And now everything from leisure centres, parks, playgrounds and libraries are at risk. Our deputy political editor, Anushka Astana, found the impact of the crisis is the same for many local authorities, whether they're run by Conservatives, Labour or indeed the Lib Dems. Here's her special report. It's terrible, isn't it? Anushka Astana, thank you. And for more on the impact that faces councils across the country as bankruptcy fears grow, you can head to our website where you can find more on the services that are potentially under threat that Anushka explained. That's itv.com/news. Let's move on now and get an update on what's making the news tonight. The Bank of England has kept its interest rate unchanged at 5.25%. It ends a lengthy run of continuous hikes that has battered borrowers. But the bank's governor has left the door open today to further rises in the future. Bulgarians based in Britain have been charged with spying for Russia. They're accused of conspiring to gather information that will be useful to an enemy. And news of Rupert Murdoch stepping down from his media empire has been met with high-profile reaction tonight. The Chancellor, Jeremy Hunt, called him a formidable operator, while the former Labour leader, Jeremy Corbyn, has accused his businesses of poisoning global democracy. A prisoner who was told he'd serve 15 months in jail for attempted robbery has just been released after spending nearly 18 years behind bars. Danny Weatherson was given a controversial indefinite sentence, a type of punishment which has since been scrapped. Well, now 35 years old, Danny has finally been freed, and he told Chloe Keedy about his ordeal and his hopes for the future. There's more still to come tonight.
Andrew's a minor celebrity in the mountain bike world.
Really?
Yeah.
Not compared to you, sir.
And we will have more of what a certain Major Royal had to say to those bikers when they were riding through his backyard.
Plus, ex-Hurricane Nigel is tracking across the Atlantic. What does that mean for our weather in the coming days? Those answers in a couple of minutes.
More rain, I'm guessing, will do John, me and Alex for that and more after this short break. Hello again, welcome back. Time for the weather now. Alex is with me in the studio. It's been biblical. I'm guessing there's more, right?
There's going to be a little more rain to come as we head through the next few days. In fact, there was a fair amount of rain last night. Remember I told you about that weather warning which is in place across the capital and much of the southeast. In fact, these were the scenes last night. This is North London, where we had around 20 to 30 millimetres of rain falling, and then it also continued across South London as well.
Heinz Seriously Good Mayonnaise sponsors ITV National Weather.
So there's a little bit of good news in there. So Saturday not looking too bad. And there are signs that into next week, temperatures could be sneaking back up to around 22 degrees Celsius.
OK, Alex, thank you. And finally, the King may have been speaking to France's president and its MPs today, but it seems he's equally happy to have a chat to everyone. A group of mountain bikers told ITV News about their chance meeting with the monarch this summer on his Balmoral estate. Among the topics of conversation, his childhood memories, the weather, obviously, and those pesky Highland midges. Here's our Scotland reporter, Louise Scott. And that is all from us for now. Julie's here with news at 10, but from me and all the Evening News team, bye.
They don't know who Ripper is. They don't know what Ripper looks like.